guys, James here with Waterford Business Solutions, and as we approach the end of 2024, there's a lot of little things that we have to worry about. One of those that's coming up that is new is going to be Beneficial Ownership Information Reports, or BOI. This is something that was passed at the end of 2023, and we had about a year to get these reports in. The due date is currently for any existing business or business that was created during 2024 to get these reports filed with the FinCEN, or Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, by December 31st of 2024. This is a new regulation with the goal of really helping to cut down on any financial crimes or any type of under-the-table trading, any type of under-the-table money movement. And it's a goal of just collecting information on who has ownership in a company or a lot of ownership in a company or any business operating in the U.S. So any business, C Corps, S Corps, LLCs, basically any business that is registered with their Secretary of State is required to fill out this BOI report. It's going to include any type of foreign companies that are doing business in the United States, and it's going to include identifying information about the business and anybody who directly or indirectly controls that company under certain circumstances. This is something that the government has talked about for a while, and we haven't seen a lot of discussion on it throughout this year because there was a lot of hope from different entities and different businesses that there would be some court cases that would overturn this where it would not be something that we would have to do. Unfortunately, as we stand here in the middle of September as of the time of recording, we do not have any type of end in sight or any type of court case in sight that will overturn this. That doesn't mean that that couldn't happen by December 31st, but with that occurring, it is something that we do need to start considering with the December 31st deadline rapidly approaching. Ultimately, any business or any individual who has ownership in a business, either directly or indirectly, and exercises substantial control over the company, or who owns or controls at least 25% of the ownership interest, will be required to be reported on the BOI report with the business being filed. That means whether you either own 25% or more of the partnership or shares of the company, or you are actively involved in running the company and making decisions for the company, your information will need to be reported on there. This is free and you can file it online easily, and you shouldn't need to pay anyone to do this, quite frankly. We're going to go through during this video and show you exactly what is required to file this, and it's overall really super easy. Most businesses should easily be able to file this on their own. However, if you're a complicated business structure, you may want to go ahead and reach out and talk to either your lawyer or your accountant, or if you don't have one, reach out to one that you know to help advise you in this situation to go ahead and get this filed. We're still not sure on who will have access to this information. That is a big gray area and something that I was really hoping that throughout the year we would get some type of clarification on. We know for sure that federal, state, and local governments will have this, along with likely some law enforcement, depending on cases going on. Even foreign officials and financial institutions may have access in certain cases. We just don't know what those cases are going to be and or what is the requirement to get access to this information. So that is still a big gray area that a lot of people are looking at or interested in seeing corrected there. Ultimately, if you are a sole proprietor or a nonprofit, you may not need to file for BOI. However, if you filed any type of paperwork with your Secretary of State to formally create a business, you will need to file a BOI report there. If you only filed a document with the federal government or a government agency to obtain a EIN from the IRS, a fictitious business name, or a professional or business license, then you do not need to file a BOI, but that's only applying for those certain things. But if you applied for those and registered with your Secretary of State, you will still need to go ahead and make sure that you file a BOI with the FinCEN department there. There are about 23 business types that do not need to file. I'm not going to go into all of them. I'm honestly not going to dig much into those at all. But most of those business types are going to be some form of bank, investment companies, investment firms, or even some form of government-related entity. Those are not going to require a BOI. And there are sources to provide you more information if you're interested, or you can feel free to reach out to us if you would like some more clarification there. If your business is inactive and you're not actively doing any type of trade or any type of business operations, you may be exempt from filing a BOI. But you must answer yes to all 6 of these questions I'm about to ask you to not be able to file a BOI. First, was the entity in existence prior to January 1st of 2020? Is the entity not engaged in any active business? The entity can't be owned by a foreign person, whether directly or indirectly, wholly or partially. And a foreign person is defined as a citizen or resident that is not of the U.S., domestic partnerships or corporations, or other estates or trusts. So basically, if you aren't active, but you have any type of foreign citizen that is part owner in the company, you will still have to file a BOI. The entity couldn't be sold or have any type of change of ownership in the preceding 12 months of January 1st of 2024. So if the business changed any type of ownership during 2023, you would need to file a BOI. The entity cannot receive or send more than $1,000 directly through a financial account tied to the entity for the preceding 12 months. So there can't be any activity over $1,000 with the company for the preceding 12 months, or pretty much all of 2023. The entity can't hold any type of assets in the U.S. or abroad, including ownership in another business, another corporation, LLC, or any other type of entity. So you will still, if you have any type of ownership, you will still need to, or excuse me, any type of assets, you will still need to file a BOI there. You won't have to file a BOI every year. Once you file the initial year, you'll pretty much be done with the BOI. However, if there's a change or update to the BOI, basically if there's a change in ownership, addresses of ownership change, contact information of ownership change, you will need to update the BOI. Once you have your BOI submitted, you'll have 30 days from the change of activities. So change of ownership, change of address, change of contact information. You'll have 30 days to log in and go into the FinCEN's website and update your BOI to recognize that update. If you do not do that within the 30 days, just like if you don't do the initial registration by December 31st, there are penalties that you will be assessed there. We will discuss during this video what all you're going to need to do with the BOI, and we're going to make sure that you understand exactly how to do this if you choose to do this on your own. Ultimately, the BOI was created back in 2021 when Congress passed the Corporate Transparency Act in a bipartisan bill. The goal of this specific regulation in it is to help track down anyone who is trying to hide or benefit from ownerships in shell companies or any type of other opaque ownership structures, so that they can be properly taxed and that they can pay their fair share within the U.S. government like most legal businesses do. Ultimately, this really shouldn't affect you if you are running your business or operating your business legally and not doing any type of illicit activity. Who this is going to ultimately affect is going to be those that are trying to hide money, move money around under the table, or hide their activities for some type of illicit activity. Ultimately, like I said, if your business was operating prior to January 1st of 2024, you are going to need to make sure that you have your registration in by December 31st of 2024. If your business was created after January 1st of 2025, you'll have 30 calendar days from the official registration notification of your business. So when you get that letter from your Secretary of State, you'll have 30 days to go ahead and file and get your BOI filing in with the FinCEN department. If any changes occur after your initial filing, like I said, change in ownership, change in contact information, change in anything like that, you'll only have 30 days to make this update, even if your business was operating before 2025. So super important there. Now, let's go ahead and go directly to the FinCEN's website and have an example of registering your business. Like I stated earlier, filing your FinCEN BOI report is easy enough to do on your own, and you shouldn't need to pay or contract anyone to do it for you. Feel free to reach out to someone and work with them to go ahead and file a report for you, especially if you've got a more complicated report that you need to file. But we're going to go through and give you a straight example of exactly what you need to do with filing the FinCEN BOI report right here, right now, so that you can follow along with and fill out the report on your own. Finding the FinCEN report is simple enough. Go to FinCEN, just go to Google, search for FinCEN BOI Reporting, and you want to make sure you're going to the fincen.gov website. Do not go to any other website that may be spam, that may be trying to collect your information or anything else there. When you get to this website, it should look specifically like this. It'll show right up top an official website of the United States government. It'll show everything like this. It'll have a .gov ending. Make sure that we have all of that so that you are not providing your information to anyone outside of the government that you don't need to do it. Right here, fairly simple. You'll see right up top, file, and you'll see file a report using the BOI e-filing system. Super easy, super clear to see, and we're going to click right there, and it'll take us pretty much directly into going ahead and filing. We're going to want to go ahead and do the BOI e-filing right here, and we're going to go ahead and click Get Started. Here we can go ahead and either file a BOI report by PDF or submit one by PDF, or we can do it electronically. I would recommend doing it electronically. That way you don't need to do any type of PDF or work, and this will guide you directly through step by step on what you need to do by using the second option of file an online BOIR. This will go ahead and let you know that you're going into a US system. Again, we want to see that so that we know that we're in the right area and you're not giving away your information. We're going to go ahead, come straight in here and see filing information, and throughout it gives you easy instructions that you can read and go through. Type of filing, if this is your first time going through, we're going to go ahead and put initial report. If we are updating because someone moved or addresses changed, contact information changed, ownership information changed, we're going to go ahead and click Update Prior Report. I'm going to say we're doing an initial report this time just because it's going to show us more stuff. This first page, we're just going to go ahead and click Next, and then it's going to come here. Option 3, I do recommend going ahead and clicking to request and receive a FinCEN ID. This is going to give you an ID that you can save so that you can always contact the FinCEN department and use this ID, or it also helps you in future with updating reports. We'll have to go ahead and put in your legal company name, and that is what you are registered with the Secretary of State on there that we have to go ahead and do. So we'll go ahead and put in your legal company name. Now, if you go by any type of DBA, so you're registered with the Secretary of State to go by a DBA, any and every DBA that you have, you'll need to go ahead and add in here. You can add multiple different names in here. It's not too much of an issue, but everything that needs to go in there is every single legal DBA that you have will need to be listed here. Then we'll come here to the tax identification. We're going to tell them if you are registering as a business, we're going to say EIN. If you're a sole proprietor, which again, if you're not registered with the Secretary of State, you shouldn't need to do this, but it depends on your state. Or if you're foreign, you'll select that. I'm going to go with EIN as that's going to be what the majority of you have. And you're going to put in your EIN number here. Since we're not foreign, we don't have to put in a country here, but if you were foreign, you would have to select a foreign country there, who is your jurisdiction. And then we need to go ahead and put what Secretary of State that you are registered under. So we're going to just go ahead and select from either if you're foreign or if you are in America, we're going to go ahead and put in the United States of America. Then on the domestic side, we're going to have to set up your state and select your state. And if you are tribal, you'll go ahead and you'll note that here and have to put in your tribe information and name of the tribe that you are registered with. Then for the business, we need to go ahead and put in the business's name. Again, whether it's foreign, we'll have to put in all the foreign information, the state that you're located, and zip code. Now, if you're foreign, obviously state, zip code, those might change a little bit. But we'll go ahead and put all of that in there. Then we'll go to next, and we're going to go ahead and put in a company application. If you are an existing company, we can go ahead and just put in an existing reporting company. What this is going to do is it's going to allow us to skip over all of the company applicant information here. Because since it's already existing, we do not need to provide this. However, if you are formed after January 1st of 2024 or going forward, you will need to go ahead and fill out all of this information with the FinCEN ID for the actual applicant. And if you ever need help, we got right here where it can help you out, but these are individuals that may be reported as company applicants. So any individual that is basically helping to set up or creating the business, we've got to put their information in here if this is a future thing to us here. So your FinCEN ID, you can personally get one of those. This wouldn't be related to the business there. Your personal information, first name, last name, first name, date of birth, your personal address or business address, some type of identifying document for you. But we're going to have to do that again for the beneficial owners. With the company applicant information, the company applicant is going to be the people who are physically putting this application in versus the beneficial owners being the owners of the company. So you could have multiple people putting in the application, and as such, we would need to go ahead and report multiple company applicants there. So keep that in mind. As far as identifying documents, there is a list for state driver's license, issued ID, a U.S. passport, or a foreign passport. And then you'll have to go ahead and put in the document number, the jurisdiction, the state, and again, if it's tribal stuff, we'll have to go ahead and put in tribal information there, along with an image of that document. Now, I'm not going to go through the company applicant here. I'm going to say that we're an existing company. And then we're going to go ahead and move over to the beneficial owners. Ultimately, with the beneficial owners, it's very similar to what we saw in the company applicant. If this is a business owned by a minor child, we would need to go ahead and use your parent guardian information. That's where you would go ahead and check box 35. If you've got a personal FinCEN ID, we would enter that there. And then we would go ahead and put in the ownership information here. If this business is owned by another business, we're going to put in the business that owns it, their information here. However, if this is owned by an individual, we're going to go ahead and put in that individual's information. And again, if you have a minor child, we'll have to make sure that you are filling this out, not them. If it likes our entry here. There we go. We'll also have to put in your address. And then an identifying document, along with a number to that identifying document. So basically exactly what we saw on the company applicant side of everything. We'll also have to go ahead and upload an image here from our computer of that identifying document. If you've got multiple owners, it's not asking how much someone owns or anything like that, but if you've got multiple owners, again, going back to they have to own at least 25% of the company or be actively involved in the company, we would add additional beneficial owners there. And we would just click until we have all of those owners that are entered for BOI 1, BOI 2, etc., for however many owners we have to have there. Once we're done with everything there, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly upload some type of image here just so that we can move along. It did not like that image. It's always fun trying to... There we go. I'm going to remove this guy so that it lets us move on. And then we're going to go ahead and hit next. Once we're here, we're just going to put in your contact information, first name, last name, and then you're going to certify that this is all correct. And once you do that, you'll just submit it and you'll be done until you need to make future updates. As you can see, filling out and submitting your own BOI report is really simple and easily something that you could do on your own if you so choose. If you decide that you need help or if you have any type of questions at all, we here at Waterford Business Solutions are happy to assist and help you out. Feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email at either 864-351-0852 or info@waterfordbusiness.com. And if you like content like this, please feel free to like this video and follow us to get more videos just like this to better your business and better your understanding of financial knowledge.